All right. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to inform you that I will be your humble servant, your master of ceremony for this very beautiful evening. And at this point, I would like you to kindly stand up as I announce and we receive the presence of His Excellency, former Vice President, Ambassador Joseph Yoma Boakai, the Chief Patron and Benefactor of the JNB Foundation, for which we're here this evening. Let's receive Ambassador Boakai.
Promises that left us to all our damages. Retire with that speech, the preach indeed, and not believe the deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you lie? There's still no beef. We just tell you. Now why we will tell you? But you fool us, you screw us, you use us, and they love and abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But at the price that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government should lie.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I have your seats? Thank you very much. Once again, I want to say good evening. I want to thank you for taking your time and being here this evening for this very important event. I'm supposed to do the welcome remarks, so you may consider these remarks as the welcome remarks. His Excellency, Ambassador Boakai, appreciates your presence. This is America. Everyone is busy and gainfully busy too. Thank God for that. And for you to have taken time out to be here today is something that he is most grateful for. The organizers of this event, Mr. Domba, the rest of the team who worked very hard to put this together, they all welcome you here this evening. Thank you so much. We would now go into the event. We're going to call on the Mr. Domba to say something. Christian?
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody for coming and being here with us today. I think, as you know, Admiral, we call him Uncle Joe, has founded a foundation that is doing tremendous work in Liberia. It is a 501c3 here in the U.S. as well. So it gives the Americans and Liberians that live here an opportunity to contribute to the foundation, and it's also a tax write-off. And so while we want to acknowledge everyone here today, Senator Sharice Street was supposed to be here with us today. I believe he is on his way and still en route. Councilwoman Jeannie Blackwell will also be here with us today. She is en route. And I think, as everyone knows, Councilwoman Blackwell has really been an avid supporter of the Liberian community and the African community as a whole. We also want to welcome the Honorable Stanley Strada, who has been a complete sound supporter of the Liberian community for some time. What we'll do now is we'll bring up Maury so she can give just a bit of information on what the foundation is doing in Liberia. As I said, it's a 501c3. The structure is set up here in the U.S. as well. And so you can find more information about the foundation at jndf.org. And I'll welcome up Maury now to say a few words. Thank you. Please give her a hand.
Good evening to all. And Honorable Joseph Boakai, Chairman and founder of the Joseph Boakai Foundation, members of the table, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I know Christian wants me to be brief, but I think you need to understand what the foundation is all about. So I will just start. As I thank God Almighty for His grace which made this event possible, I bring you all greetings from Liberia. This event provides yet another gracious opportunity that allows the Boakai Foundation to continue to meaningfully intervene in improving the lives of needy people of Liberia. We remain highly grateful to the organizers of this for this event. Permit me now to provide a brief, I hope it is. The foundation was established on 30th, 2018, coinciding with the founder's birth anniversary as a non-profit and charitable foundation under the Association's Law of Liberia. The foundation is also registered as a Section 501c3 non-profit organization in the state of Rhode Island, USA. Our vision is to become a leading catalyst and driver of transformative social change and improve the living conditions of all needy rural inhabitants in a peaceful, inclusive, and equitable society in which we are safe. Our vision is also, we carry a mission of aiding and supporting sustainable agricultural production and food security, healthcare service delivery, the provision of quality and affordable education, training of youth gender development, provision of safe water, and protection of the environment. Our strategic goal is to develop and strengthen the potential of rural and disadvantaged communities and people, especially at-risk youth and women, to become sustainably productive and improve conditions of living and to feel inclusive and protected. The purpose of the foundation, the purposes of the foundation are executed on the 6 pillars: agriculture, education, health, youth and gender development, water and sanitation, and environment. In line with a strategic plan for 2023 to 2025 to respond to the needs and interests of the communities we serve, with the overall goal of strengthening and enabling fellow citizens to build more reliable, viable, and prosperous rural and urban communities and to uplift parts of the society at risk. Agriculture. Under the agriculture pillar, a strategic plan considers the objectives of the Liberian agricultural sector investment plan and align the foundation agricultural pillar as a primary catalyst in the national food security system. The strategic plan lays out the foundation's goals for agriculture for the next 3 years. They include working with climate change experts to strategically guide rural communities' climate smart agriculture, RCCSA, and ensuring the RCCSA process is focused on the needs of the beneficiaries and are linked to realities on the ground. Our flagship agriculture projects 2023 to 2025. Where do we start? Where do we want to be in 2024? With rice, cassava, peanut, and pepper in the GMB Foundation's communities. From the beginning of 2022 to 2025, GMB will lead a community of rural towns in the targeted 7 of the 15 counties in Liberia to produce pressing issues of food, poverty, working with farming groups to cause the commercial production of various crops. Targeted beneficiaries, the direct beneficiaries of the RCPP's projects are at-risk rural women and their children, who are the most vulnerable groups in the ongoing food insecurity crisis. The indirect beneficiaries are men and other dependents not directly related to the prime movers of the projects, but are exposed to the critical food and dietary deprivations. The rural women in the project areas are not exception to the threatening food insecurity. The project is expected to benefit 100 women in each of the 7 counties selected, totaling 700 rural women who will drive the commercial production of cassava, peanut, and pepper for 3 years and beyond, using the farm-to-market business model strategy for sustainability and replication in other towns. Education. The education pillar takes into consideration the Government of Liberia's Education Sector Plan, ESP, of 2020 in line with the Millennium Development Goals. Education for All by 2015. In that plan, special attention is given to accelerated progress aimed at significant achievement in the education of all goals despite limited resources. Our education strategy is to link students' learning to the world in which they live, given the pace of information technology literacy. Health, GMBF ideas is to mobilize medical resources for rural communities, provision of mobile clinics and distribution of medical supplies to health facilities in order to complement government's effort in healthcare delivery. Our mission is to ensure that the poor communities have equitable access to high-quality health care that is delivered in the communities close to where people live. Youth and gender development. The WHO and the United Nations define as individuals in a 10-19 years age group and youth as the 15-24-year age group as outlined in the United Nations Program on Youth 2021. However, each country has its own specific definition of youth. In Liberia, youth is an individual between the age group of 15 to 35. The revised National Youth Policy 2012-2017 2012-2017. At the GMBF, we acknowledged the social fact that as members of societies, youth deserve full access to education, employment, financial services, participation in public life. The foundation seeks to prepare young people to meet the challenges of an adulthood through a coordinated, progressive series of activities and experiences which help them to become socially, morally, emotionally, physically competent by mobilizing support for vocational training of economically challenged and disadvantaged youth, mainly girls, by 2015 and beyond, seeking youth employment opportunities for all irrespective of sex, ethnicity, and persons with disabilities. Water and sanitation. The Foundation's strategic plan for water and sanitation is to work in collaboration with Liberia National Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene Commission and other WASH sectors in a bid to promote safe and equitable WASH practices by 2025 ahead of the UN Sustainable Goal target of 2030 to achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all. We will identify vulnerable communities and empower them in line with WASH priorities and overall increase in rural health delivery system, welfare and well-being program in safe water deficient community. Environment. Under this pillar, the main objective of the strategic plan is to present a 3-year action plan for the development of climate adaptive irrigation systems and irrigated agriculture in selected rural towns to help attain broad agriculture sector goals of food security and income. So we go through the successful interventions. Over the past few years, since its establishment, the foundation has made life-changing interventions in various sectors of the country. Many may recall the foundation's donation of 20 tons motorized ferry to the people of Riverside and Grand Bassa counties. The operations of the ferries on the Sisters, Benson, and McLean and St. John's River now provide a safe mode of cross-river transportation for residents and goods and minimize possibilities of accidents. There was also the one in Riverside over the years. I think if you follow, there were a lot of accidents because they were using the canoe. But once that ferry was placed there, they were taking 2.5 hours to cross the Sisters from Yenny to Sisters. But then it took less than 5 minutes, and it provided the last mile help, which was operating beyond that to carry all their equipment, even their cars, because it takes 2 cars, SUVs, and you can go across and you can work. So that brought relief to the people on that side, you know. And they want also to, so these ferries, we also have 2 in Nima County and 2 in Bond County. In Bond County, they use it to cross and go to Babylon because of the road condition. So these ferries are being of great help to the people there. So all these things, you know, we monitor them and all that. So agriculture, the JNB acquired 125 acres of land in Bomi and Grand Cape Mar counties for several women cooperatives that have been developed for cultivation of rice and other foodstuff. More than 50% of farmland were cultivated with rice and vegetables, thus empowering the local farmers. Efforts are being made to acquire threshing and milling machines to enhance the maximum productivity and to facilitate full utilization of the land. Portion of the farmland is also being used for nursery and demonstration sites. So in Bomi, we have 125 acres there, and the chairman saw the need to provide that for the women because they will go on other people's farm to go, you know, and farm. They will take 20 hours to get there. So by the time they get there, and they have no time to do what they're doing, and they have to return. So he saw the need to get that land, and they are there. They are just people from, you know, it's open, you know, and they go there. They are all organized in a unique group, and they are there doing rice and vegetables that supply that area. The foundation has made several donations of medical sanitary products to hospitals, including the Barroom Hospital in Lofa, the Jackson F. Doe in Takita, Neva County, and the ELW Hospital in Queensville. The JNBF donated 2 ambulances to the Family Medical Health Center implementing partner, which is also an implementing partner. We carry one there and we carry one to ELWA. I think you all know Dr. Moba, he operates the Family Medical Center. So yeah, he does the fistula program. So the foundation identified with him. He's also an implementing partner. I was only done. The board chair has also mobilized containers full of medical supplies waiting in shipment from the state of Arizona for distribution, mainly to health facilities across rural Liberia. Education. Currently, the JNBF is sponsoring 3 students at the UMU University, that's the United Methodist University, and at the same time, partnering with the Pennyworth Foundation to reach out to students in need. The foundation is in the process of awarding 10 university scholarships to recent graduates of the Levi Martin High School in San Nicolas, Neva County. A couple of months ago, he served as a commencement speaker, and 10 scholarships were offered to the students there. 10 of the graduating students in the process of implementing that. As soon as we get back on the ground, we're going to start that. The foundation also granted scholarships to 15 underprivileged and disadvantaged youth to be trained and provided employable skills in the electricity, interior decoration, catering, plumbing, database management, drafting, etc., at the National Vocational Training Institute. That's the one right opposite the former President Charles Taylor's house, NetLib, they call it NetLib. So we have students there that just would be or so. Also, the foundation acquired and donated to the education support program of Pennyworth. Pennyworth is a local NGO that provides stationery to schools. And so we ourselves don't implement, we work through implementing partners, so we empower them to go there. So when it's time, we get all the school materials and then we give it to them and carry on board. Of course, we do monitor them. We don't just leave them on their own. We partner with the United Churches of the World to provide life skills training to youth, to young people in Kakata, Mangibi. The training included tailoring, garri making, soap making, and the UCAL, as they are called, United Churches of the World, are one of our main partners because they have a lot. They are based in Kakata, and they have too many people. You have all the people on the street wanting to be trained. Can you imagine this disadvantaged youth will walk to them and tell them we don't want to be on the street. Can you please help us? Can you please train us? So there's a great need in that area. So we are working with them there and to make sure that at least we can do it all, but at least we can reach out and help others. We have included much more information on our foundation's website, so we give you the site, you can go there and you will see a lot of things that we are doing. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Great job. Let's give her a round of applause. She does a wonderful job coordinating and directing these activities across 6 pillars, as she said. Fantastic. And some of you would be wondering, how does this man pull together all of these resources, these ferries that cost a lot of money and all these things and making real impact? The lives that have been saved, as a result of these ferries. Just wonderful. God. We give him the glory. So we'll move on now. I want to recognize Mr. Vovi Jabate, the CEO, founder of Wakana, an industrious man, one of the rocks of our community. Dr. Abdullah Dublin, I recognize you. And all of you wonderful people, welcome. At this point, do we go to the fundraiser now? That's why we're here. Isn't that why? But what we're going to do, of course, we want to thank our friends from LRTN for broadcasting this live. People are watching. My brother Aaron is going to help us here. So that we can go live from that page as well. So just expand the reach. So, this is why we're here. This evening, as you know, His Excellency has been in town for some time, and he's been busy going from place to place, engaged in all kinds of fruitful activities on behalf of the country. And so tonight, Mr. Domba and Sis Maury and others decided that they were going to put this together so that we can give the opportunity to our people to come and be a part of a great cause, to contribute to something very meaningful. The way I like to do this is often when I'm asked to launch a fundraiser is to be by the charity begins at home. So I like to open this fundraiser with $500, which I will do right now. To go above me. I'm sorry I went so low, but that's what I can do right now. So the fundraiser is at this point officially open. You may raise your hand from wherever you are, say what you want to contribute. Most people have Cash App and Zelle. I'm going to Zelle mine right now. And it's very simple. We will provide the information. You don't even have to come up. You don't have to say anything. If you don't want to say something, you can stay right where you are. If you want to say something, please do feel free to say something. Yes, please. Let them give you the Cash App handle, the Zelle handle as well. I have it here. I'm going to read it out. Yes. It's on each table. Thank you, Christian. Christian knows how to do these things. Yes. It is right here. Look on the table and you will find it. The Cash App, for those of you watching, there are lots of people who are watching who could not be here for tons of reasons to live very far. The Cash App is $, the letters JNB Foundation. That's it. It's as simple as that. $ JNB Foundation. That is the Cash App. The Zelle, and that's what I have. I don't have Cash App. The Zelle is info, that's INFO, at JNBF, the letter F, .org. That is the Zelle. Now, some of you would like to say something. Not only would you like to give. If you want to say something, please do come forward and say something why you contribute. Does anybody want to speak? Somebody has to want to say something. Yes, please. My mother. Mother Rebecca Kova. Seeing her for the first time, I called her name, she was surprised.
How you doing, everyone? I'm not going to speak for a long time. Just a short message to my president in waiting. Oh man, I love you. You know I love you. I drove from Kentucky, 11 hours. I just got here. From Kentucky, Louisville. I just got here. It's the God that helped me to even pack my car. Where is he? I'm right here. Oh, he helped me. 11 hours. Jerry said hi. And I said, I will be here to see you. And then my hero, I always mad at him. I be like, Costa, don't play with me. But when I saw my president already, I feel excited already, energetic already. Just imagine a lady driving 11 hours from Kentucky, Louisville. It wasn't easy for me, but I got here on time. I'm happy. I'm just happy, and I'm here. I already did my contribution. I didn't know about that, right? I already did, so I don't have to say it. They will check. But I'm here for you. I love you, my papi. No, if I can't say love you. Hey, Pasha.
All right. Thank you very much, Mother Rebecca Cole. Does anybody else want to say something? Please.
Yes, please.
Yes. But the women leading like that.
Well, I'm a daughter of a farmer, and wherever you talk about agriculture, I contribute. And because we want a nation that will feed itself, we should promote that cause. By so doing, I have already made my commitment on the decks, and I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to say good evening to everyone here. I'm Ibrahim Tiga from New Jersey. And I decided to come here to see our president in waiting. The first thing, I just want to be happy for me to see Costa today. It's my first time meeting him. But for our president in waiting, I know him from ELWA, there where I read about my uncle. So in that area there where he lived, and I friendly with Jacob Kabakoli, who all grew up together. So he's my friend and brother. I just want to say I love the agriculture field, and I want to go back home to actually do, be in the field of agriculture. And I want to say thank you for the children are in the street. I just want to help in training them, giving them a better future, and asking all the Liberians, because if you go back home, when you coming back, you can't bring anything with you. Everybody come to you, even if your mother died, your father died, you go there, they will still be asking you, they will not even be sympathy with you. So this is, I felt when I went home to come back when my mother passed away, when I was coming back home, it was like, you're going empty. So I just want to say thank you, and I will pledge $160 for the meantime.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we get a basket, please? Yes, okay. Mr. Yuri?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say hi to Mr. Boakai. I don't know what you can remember me. I was a little boy. My mother was your best friend. 2005, you came here when the election was going on. I told my wife, go to what he freely. The late Tamaya Fuller brought you to my house. If you can remember, my son. Mara was your best friend. I used to run through your office all the time. I was in agriculture when you were minister. My mother was in Foya, I ended up in Foya. But I want to say thank you. I'm so happy that we have a leader that accountability. Accountability, that's what we need in our country, integrity. I was just home a few months back. Retired, we want to go home. We got land there, we want to use it. But we can't come there when the atmosphere is not right. They're killing people. We want to come home, we want to government. We hope that God will give you the strength and you will make it. At least we can come home and do something better. I will give $50 to go before I leave, and I will pay $100. I'll contribute $100. God bless you.
Thank you. Right there. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Vice President and President in waiting. Liberia is at a very crucial stage. Legacy building must be the priority of every Liberian. There's no joke that our President in waiting has demonstrated indefatigable efforts to ensure that Liberia remain a wholesome, functioning society. Our legacy is not yet a reality until each one can give back to our children. Many of us who are living in these states today, over the age of 50 or above, we have a legacy to restore hope in education, which remains the foundation for human capacity building of a nation that we can one day be proud of and call Liberia. We give God the glory that age is of no obstacle to a visionary who has come and continued to say, I'm going to fight till that day comes when the Lord takes me home. He's the greatest motivation I've come to see. And salute, to God be the glory. And he doesn't just look out for himself, but for a nation that yet has hope. And that hope lies in the destiny of young boys and girls. Honorable Boakai, Edith Ricks was your classmate. I didn't know because my church also takes girls from the streets, Agape International Outreach Ministries. I serve as the social director for the Girls Empowerment. And little did I know that in our ministry, Honorable Boakai, one of our girls worked in your office. And every now and then, you will take food to them. This is the person we need as a leader for a nation that lacks integrity, a nation that hopes for a dream that yet to be born. But thank God we have pillars of individuals such as Joseph Human Boakai, and the likes of Henry Costa, representing the future of a generation yet to see the hope that Liberia needs. We're proud to celebrate you. On this note, as I close, I will double my contribution at the table. There are silent giants among us who may seek to remain anonymous in their giving, and many of whom are one of us. To God be the glory. We salute you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Very inspiring words. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else? Yeah, lots of people.
Thank you, sir. My name is G. Wilson Valley. I've just come from the farm, and I stopped by Honorable Trouble Espagard. And he told me that Honorable Boakai is in the country. Do you know where he is? And I said, I heard it. I was going to call somebody who's supposed to know where he is. And I called J.D. Slanger, and he told me, you people were here. He told me, look, take this $50 and carry it to Honorable Boakai. Tell him I'm not well, I'm here in the country, but you get my support. And this $50 may multiply a million times so that he can win. Then he turned to me and said, well, where you want right now? I don't want where. I will do this for him. He's my uncle, and I'm in support of him. I go there every evening on the holiday, on weekends, and the rest of it. So, Honorable Boakai, I've come with $50 from Honorable Trouble Espagard for you. And so that's why I stopped here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for what you try to do for our country. I will give his right number to JD to give it to you in case you have a chance to give him a call. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Right here. Right here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sambu Kamara Ward. It's a pleasure. President in waiting, I'm glad to be here. I stand here to speak for most of us that want to go back home and do something. I remember 2013, I worked for the state of Rhode Island. I took all my resources. I went to Liberia, and I opened an NGO for abused women and children. My own money. I didn't ask for any money from the government. And through Anthony, I was able to meet Mr. Boakai to do my presentation. And I did. I did my presentation and everything. You were very impressed. It was a shelter for abused women and children. They could stay there for 90 days. There was nothing on the government. But guess what? I couldn't stay because I didn't know somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody. Okay? So, I know you're running to be the next president. Not for me. I'm settled here. I'm fine. But I want to go home. Will you be the president for everybody? Yes. Because some of us don't know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So I had to close my NGO that could have benefited the kids in the street, abused women, and had to come back here. So that's my question. Will you be the president for everybody? Thank you. Some of us give, but we don't like to tell people what we give, yeah? So we already gave, my husband and myself. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Harris T.K. Johnson, co-chair for GMB Tag Team Pennsylvania chapter. From the time, we heard about this visionary man, and from the track record, 25 years in public service, working in a corrupt system, and one day cannot be attributed to him. So based on that, as a young man, I decided to give my full support. So, not to bore you guys a lot, and this is a very good initiative to help our people back home. So on behalf of me and my family, I'm going to contribute $150.
Thank you, my brother. Yes, thank you. Victor Kaiser put $100 on there, so let me get it now, for transparency's sake. Who else? There was somebody who, okay, good.
I'll contribute $1,000.
That's very good. Well, folks, this is going really well. This is going really, really well. You're most welcome. You want the mic? Yes. Thank you very much. Winston Churchill said, and I quote, "You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give."
Hello, everyone. So I think I want to come up front because I want to see if our incoming president. Yes. So my name is Garmin Lucky Holt. I'm here today because I want to meet my incoming president. I'm so picky to be here today. Usually, I don't like to drive at night. But tonight after work, I was across the bridge because I live in Jersey. And I was like going like that. So my two hands on my steering. I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. I hate driving at night. But I have to come here because I know what I want to see happen in Liberia. And I believe you are the person that can deliver Liberia. So Mr. President in waiting, would it be possible to shake your hands and get the commitment from you that you would take care of Liberia, you would change Liberia, you would build Liberia? Thank you, Mr. President, in coming. And I will definitely send my donation to the Cash App because I already do have it. Thank you. Thank you, Henry.
Very nice meeting you for the first time. Yes. Okay. So one of our mothers here, she wants to do something, but she doesn't want to talk. So it's okay. Anybody else? Come on, I think you talk. The team won't talk a good team.
Anyway, I do something down there. But I know that the election here is for us. Yeah, my husband and for me. Yeah. But I want to for husband. I was able to put $1,000. God bless you, because I love you. This is Marie. God bless you. Yes. You always be there for us. So I just gave out the glory.
Thank you, Mayasa. Okay. We have almost 1,000 people watching live. So those of you watching, let me talk to them here. Send your own money. Don't just be listening to the people. Send your own money. Put your own there. Yeah. And by the way, we have food. So at this point, we want to turn the microphone over to the ladies. Mrs. Jones and her staff to please tell us what we have on the menu, and then
Hi guys. So we have a little bit of everything over here for y'all. We have some sweet, some spicy, we have some General Tso's meatballs, we have some fried rice, we have smoked chicken, we have pepper chicken, peppercorn, salad, all sorts of different stuff. So you're welcome to come over, have a little something to eat while we keep raising funds for this good cause. Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yep. So folks, I think we can walk and chew gum, so we can serve ourselves while we talk and contribute.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Boakai. I'm Madam Kumasa Frenduno from the Dinkila America Literacy Organization. I'm the vehicle for operations. Notwithstanding, we are here to support your initiative. I remember as a little girl, like I said today, growing up in Foya, coming from school from Hondoni, passing through Ndolilo, coming to Mayo, I saw the Chinese people cultivating the soil with agriculture. And I heard your name when I didn't know you. During the Civil War of my country, I fled to Guinea as a refugee, and I saw impact on girls. We were in an organization called the Women Training Center under Catholic Missions for Refugees, where we trained girls how to do tailoring, tie-dye, embroidery, and crocheting. Then we created Today's Women International Network in Zerikode, Guinea, where we impacted girls, taking them from the streets, empowering them to becoming better people in society. You have just captivated my mind onto education, because if we educate the nation, then we can achieve better. Then the nation will be a better place. Education is what really my passion is. Because we were adults, we didn't end our education because of the world. We are still striving to acquire our master's degrees because of the setback. But notwithstanding, we are pressing forward. Having said so, the president sent his regards that we will pledge $1,500 and then the cash account. May the Lord bless this wonderful cause. May the Lord bless everyone who left their busy schedule to attend this occasion. Amen.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. We want to thank Dion Pilon. Did I pronounce it right? Dion Pilon. Yes. Okay. Good. So,
My name is Hawa Yuma. I'm just so glad to see our president sitting. Up to now, people don't believe that he is in the States, and some of them believe that he is here in a hospital. But he is here strong. When I saw him walking in, it gave me the zeal to talk on Facebook more. So, my president, I'm so glad to see you. I already did my contribution. Thank you.
you know, the thing with him is that he's a man of many colors, right? He's a humanitarian, he's a politician, so it's hard to talk money business or talking politics business. We understand that. Anybody else who want to welcome those who just, is that the Honorable Madam Blackwell? Welcome. She is the Commissioner for the Caribbean and African Affairs in the Mayor's office, I believe. City official, welcome. All right. Anybody else? Does anybody else have anything to say? We're about to start eating now. DJ, a little bit of soft music on it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so thank you very much for having us here. Just to let you know, this is the Liberian Radio and Television Network. We're based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, coming out for the Northeast Philadelphia, right over Torresdale. We service the community, and we are open to anything that goes on in the community. Mr. Vice President, we want to say thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to actually be a part of the program. We will pray and we hope that the community will actually follow us so we can do our job. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Anderson. All right. I can smell the food. I didn't eat dinner. I was waiting for the food. Yes. It's a wonderful thing here tonight. It is. It's beautiful. You know, I just want to say something. There will always be people who will say all manners of things. On Sunday, I had the privilege to accompany His Excellency as a member of his delegation to a church in Philadelphia. Okay. And after service, which was a beautiful service, by the way, so people flocked towards him to get a closer glimpse of him, to take pictures with him. And there was this lady standing next to this guy. She said, I thought it's even messy. Look at the men looking cool like that. The people get loud. I was listening to them. When she noticed I was hearing this thing, yeah, man, because what they call it, I said they call it propaganda. Propaganda. But, you know, God is good. And we're blessed to have him as our leader and the next president of Liberia. You know. Okay. All right. So while we, at this point, please, please move forward. We'll start just to have some order so we can get clustered up there in the narrow pathway. We'll start with this table. Sirs, ma'am, can you please move up there? Oh, those who want to eat, please. If you don't want to eat, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. And then, of course, the one right after, and so on and so forth. Christian just told me that at this point we would like to be entertained or amused and enlightened poetically by the recitation of a Liberian poem by Miss Bianca Davis. Yep, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Hi, Uncle Joe, nice to meet you. I'm a young Liberian here in Philadelphia. I'm a young poet. So I want to share a poem with you all that I wrote. It's called 26. The breeze is soft today, calmly caressing the Atlantic blues as your people celebrate you in honor of you. Your Lone Star mellows peacefully, plastered to the hands of those who've never stopped loving you. Years of fighting may have ripped you to pieces, but it didn't take you from us. We prayed for something better. Dear Liberty, the smiles accompanied by the sunrise on the faces of those who have seen the dark of your past birthdays made today worth rejoicing. You are humbling. I just want to see you shine out of mama's womb this time, through the rain and between your red and white stripes, single star on solid blue. The sun hasn't forgotten about you or your children or the generations to come, and when they try and tell us that we are nothing, we will remember our foundation. We will remember that the love of liberty brought us to the land that our ancestors and our mothers died for, that our fathers will continue to ride for. And have you ever tasted a sweet melon dancing on your tongue? It's like whispering good morning to the queen that has always begun. Today, I wake up in a land of sweet darkness, where people collect the souls of their ancestors and resurrect something worth illustrating. It's nothing like feeling like something God has created again, and I promise you, there will be a day that we will take our families back, where people like me won't have to grow up in a country that doesn't really want us, because we'll have somewhere to call us home. And they'll welcome us with open arms. I promise you that the love of liberty brought us here, and the love of liberty will keep us here. In God's name, thank you.
Isn't that wonderful? Let's give her a real round of applause. Are you kidding? I feel inspired. I feel patriotic already. Thank you, Bianca. That's wonderful. Wonderful. All right, folks. So please keep making your way towards the food. Yeah. Thank you. This is going so well. Of course, could we have some people serve His Excellency, please, and Madam Blackwell, please. Thank you. You may ask him for what he wants to have. And anybody else? Does anybody else have something to say while we're eating? Anybody else?
Good evening. So I'm Larama Yontong, chair for the JMV Tag Team USA, but I'm here in my own name to support the foundation, and I will pledge the amount of 500.
Brother Youngton, thank you. Brother Youngton is an entrepreneur, thriving, doing well.
My name is Wayne K. Badaye. I want to share some very good stuff with you guys. I'm an engineer in America, but I can tell you I'm doing sugarcane farming in Liberia. One of the things that God has given to our country is our soil. There's a study that shows the sugar import from Nigeria to Liberia, Ghana, is about $2 billion business, all coming from China, all coming from Malaysia every year. So our soil has given us the opportunity to be rich people, rich country. So let's go back to the soil. Having said that, I will give $500.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barry. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
This man said I contributed money, but they didn't call my name. I'm Patrick Massacoy.
Thank you, Mr. Massacoy. Mr. Massacoy is a nurse practitioner of many years of experience, sitting next to an engineer. All these people sort of be in Liberia, turning the country around. But I'm blaming you here. We gotta get good government first. Anybody else? Does anybody else want to say something? Ain't that gotta be about giving money? If you want to say something, it's not every day you have the opportunity to interact with him. Please feel free to use this opportunity to do that as well. And he's going to be taking notes. He's very meticulous. He's pen and paper there, so that when his turn to speak, he will respond to some of the things he have to say. Feel free to do that as well.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richelieu Dukley, a journalist from Liberia, old, young, still around. Where's my big brother, Jojuma? We come from all the way back there. Yes. Anyway, I just heard about the future president of Liberia being here. I didn't believe it because our forum where we usually meet, we Liberians, tete-a-tete, talk about things. And when I heard that he was here, I elected to come here to say, Uncle, big brother, Richelieu Dukley, LBC, many years ago. Voinjama, many years ago. When you and I and my older brother were in Voinjama with Jeremiah Toulé. I went to Voinjama High School, 1960. This is an old man too, though. 1960. I went to Voinjama High School. That's my first time going to look for. I grew up in Zozo, as a matter of fact. I began my education in Liberia, in Zozo. Went to Voinjama High School, transited to Peter Harris, University of Liberia, and we've been along. I've been following you, big brother, Uncle, and I wish you the best because Liberia needs you. And I say so from the bottom of our heart. This is a short sojourn. I'm not going to be here long, but I couldn't pass by when I heard that you were here and don't show up. At the funeral that you attended the other day, when my friend and brother was there, told me about it, I couldn't come at the time or so. And let me tell you something, way back there, I think you might remember the guy who was already passed away. And in Philadelphia here, Charles was a guy who remembers you, knows you very well. But lay that aside. The occasion here is worthy of you presenting yourself to the people of Liberia through this media. And we will support you through everything we do so that you can do the things that Liberia needs today. And we're realistic about it. We've heard too many things on the bad, but one of the biggest things, I'm a journalist, but I don't want to speak from that perspective at this moment. I want to welcome you into the forum that we want you to be for Liberia, the redemptive scenario. Feel it, feel good about it. We'll pray for you continually, and we will not stop. I'm going back to Liberia myself next month, and we'll be there. So, Uncle, Jehovah continue to bless you and do the best you can. And may everyone who listens to what you do or what you aspire towards appreciate that you are a beacon for what Liberia needs. And one of my biggest things is that we have to do something about what's happening today in Liberia. We've got to get together. If we do not, we're not going to win this change that we all deserve. Okay, Uncle. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dukley. Thank you very much. Could we try to keep it as brief as possible to afford as many as possible to say as little, but as important as possible. And just so you know, when I open up with 500. I just did it. I showed Christian the receipt. So I've made good on my promise. And to those of you watching, almost 700 of you sending your contributions in as well. Anybody else? I see people are enjoying themselves. After here, we will close up with this fundraiser. What time is it now? It's 2 minutes to 8 o'clock. In 10 minutes, we'll close up.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Boakai. My name is Elvina Minaida. On behalf of myself and my organizations in Liberia, Family Aid Network, a nonprofit organization, and Minaida Rashare, of whom I'm a co-founder of, I'm going to make my silent donation at a desk. But I just want to say It's not every day you get to be in the presence of Liberia's next president. So I'm happy to be here. And as somebody who is investing time and money in Liberia, I look forward to going to Liberia one day and my things entering Liberia without overpaying stuff due to corruption. I'm so looking forward to taking my children back home and not worried about should in case somebody gets sick. Do I fly back to the state the next day or do I have proper health care? I'm so looking forward to be free in my own country. And we are hoping and we know that you can bring that change. So congratulations in advance on your presidency, and we look forward to a better Liberia.
Thank you very much, Sister Elvina. Powerful words. Thank you so much. You know, there is not a shortage of love for Liberia. Every Liberian loves Liberia. The only shortage we have is the people who get to be empowered to make real decisions are short in supply when it comes to political will, integrity, and wanting to do the right thing. And that will change beginning 2024, January, when His Excellency becomes the president. Well, we have 8 more minutes, literally, and we're gonna call this a day. It has been so, it still is on. We see people sending their contributions in online. You want to say something, you're welcome to do that. It shouldn't be restricted to, thank you. It shouldn't be restricted to donating, even though that's the primary reason why we're here.
Thank you very much. VP Boakai. I was standing here, my name is Boakai too. I'm Boakai Francis, someone who admires you and will always support you. I'm so delighted to be here. Every second I try to get in touch with Henry Costa to make sure that one day I see my VP. So I'm very elated to be here. My support is to you. I just want to remind you that a very good friend of mine and brother by the name of George Tamba, the late George Tamba, I know you know him very well. He was my very good friend. And when I came here, I heard that he was dead. He and I graduated together and worked with FDA together. And I was sent here to do my master's. But I want to say my support is to you. Today, my initial contribution will be in the amount of $100, and the rest will be coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. Thank you so much. There's a box right there. Yeah. When he said the rest will be coming, it reminded me of something Christian has and Mr. Jabat have asked me to say. So when you log on to the website of the foundation, the JNB Foundation, you will see that you go to donate. You click on the donate icon. You will see there where you can you can donate virtually, online. And the beauty of that is that it allows you the flexibility to select which particular pillow, which particular one of the 6 pillows the foundation is involved in that you can choose or elect to donate to. You can choose to donate to agriculture, healthcare, education, other things. And one of the good things about it is that you can give any amount. There's no limit, there's no small amount. Any amount would be appreciated. And you can give, you can select the quarterly, you want to do quarterly, You want to do monthly, $10 every month, $20 every month, that would be also allowed. Did somebody want to say something on this? Huh? Yes. Brother Juma Samuels.
Yes, sir. I want to stand right before the VP to see him good. Mr. VP, my name is Juma B. Santos. My dad used to be a friend. He was former minister, Deputy Minister of Agriculture for Technical Services during the transitional government. Yeah, but he passed. I'm here today. I share into your vision because currently I'm the founder and CEO of the Juma B. Care Foundation. We are into women empowerment in Liberia and agriculture in the Margibi area. So that's why I'm here. I already gave my contribution at the debt, but I'm happy for what you are doing, and we are with you. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. 4 more minutes, and then we close up. And where's Christian? 4 more minutes, we close up. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much on behalf of the team, of the staff and the organizers of this evening's very successful event for coming out here. Your presence, your contributions are very much appreciated. This is how we like to bring this fundraiser, at least in person, to an end. Those online may continue to contribute as much as they want. At this point, I would like to call on Mr. Vovi Jabate to introduce the city officials who are here present who would like to say something. Mr. Jabate.
Thank you. When the idea of supporting the JMB Foundation came out, I outreached to Councilwoman Blackwell and Stan Strutter, Ms. Tamara Staley, and His Honorable, the Senator Street. Ladies and gentlemen, these are folks that have helped us in our diaspora effort. These are folks that, like you see tonight, when we call, they come. I just text the senator and I asked him, can you come support me tonight? And he told me, when can I come? And ladies and gentlemen, Sherry Street is here, my friend and brother. Saying this is not a political rally, it's not a political movement, but Sharif is, the man of many colors when it comes to resources. So I am honored to introduce one of the most illustrious, the leader of the Democratic Party of the state of Pennsylvania, Mr. Sherry Street, to the podium.
Thank you. I want to thank Vofi. Thank you for the work that you continue to do for the African community in Philadelphia, but really for all Philadelphians. Thank you for the work you do. I want to thank everybody at this foundation for the work that this foundation is doing. It is so important that we support ourselves. We support each other. And so what I would say is this. with all the challenges that we have in our community, we will only really truly address them when people from within the community are prepared to step up and address them. Having our own foundations, having our own events, supporting ourselves, with many of us who, whether we work a regular job or whether we own a business, it is our resources supporting ourselves that are so important. And so I think it's great that we've come here together. The other point of events like this, invariably the socialization that takes place by us talking to one another creates opportunities for us to grow as a community, strengthen bonds, but also more opportunities to do business with one another and figure out how we problem solve for all the challenges we face. So it is important on so many levels that we come together, and the food is usually pretty good. So I am just pleased to be with you today. It is, I am humbled and honored that to be the first African American who's chaired the Democratic Party, and clearly this is not a political event, but it is significant when folks from our community are able to make accomplishments in either party or in either, since everything in our government and really most of the world is organized around political parties. But the resources that are allocated, whether it be about the quality of our schools, the safety of our community, or even the streets that we drive on, are allocated by government. And so us paying attention to what the government does is so very important. None of us in government are in government without people voting for us, and there are elections that take place, and I encourage each of you, whoever you want to vote for, whoever you think that represents the values of our community, we need to participate in the process so that we can be represented. And that's not really a political statement, that's a statement about empowering us, making sure that we are responsible for ourselves. And again, a person who has been leading that charge for so long, and a person whose shoulders I stand upon and whose lap I used to sit on when I was young, is none other than Councilwoman Janie Blackwell, who really helped raise me in so many ways. She and Congressman Lucian Blackwell, God rest his soul, before really helped set the stage for so much of what our community is doing. And those of us today must always remember that whether there are people who are still with us like Councilwoman Blackwell or my father, or people who've gone on like Congressman Blackwell, those of us who are in positions of authority today must always work hard to honor the legacy of those people who paved the way for us to be doing what we are. And finally, I will say this: we honor their legacy not just through words, but through actions. So if there's someone like the young man who stepped up and talked about his father, him being here at an event that he knows his father would have wanted to be at, is honoring his father's legacy. And we honor the legacies of our parents and those who came before us by supporting the work and the things that they cared about. And sometimes we're able to do things they were unable to do because they laid the way and made it easier for us to go forward. So I thank each of us. We have a lot of work to do in our community, but by supporting this foundation and supporting one another, we've taken an important step. And I'll conclude with this. There's an African proverb that I love to say. It simply says, the question is asked, how do the ants eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. Let's keep working. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure that the senator was prepared to talk about stuff that he's working on for us, which would be very, very, very beneficial to the JMB Foundation. As a foundation that has a strong interest in agriculture, the senator is leading the state of Pennsylvania to work with farmers and organize producers of agricultural product in Africa. And what that means, what I've done, he has, can I say you introduced the bill already? Yeah, he has introduced the bill that what will happen is that when farmers here will join with farmers like JMB and the JMB Foundation to ship equipment that the state will fund for them to connect to help us. So one of the biggest things, the reason why I wanted him here tonight is JMB is has a big interest in farming. And what Stan and Councilwoman Blackwell, myself, and the rest of the team that have been working with Senator Sherry Street, it is very important that he's here tonight to give us support to understand that JMB is a farmer. We are not here for the politics of it, but we are here because Sherry Street and them have given us the power to have hope that with the collaboration between us and the foundation, lots of equipment will be going from Pennsylvania to help us achieve our farming objective. So that being said, I want to again honor, she's my big sister. She's one of the folks that has helped me take over a whole section of Philadelphia called Africa Town. Africa Town is a $100 million project. Most of those monies have been identified. I think Sharif was one of the folks who stood up and gave me $2 million immediately. And that is also ongoing. So I was just really, really praying tonight that he come so we can connect the foundation. The foundation with what Sharif is already doing in Harrisburg. And we want Marie and those who let Marie make the connection, and we definitely want to encourage JMB Foundation and especially the farming section to connect with what Stan, myself, and Sharif is leading the charge in the state of Pennsylvania. And we're going to be sending more equipment and other stuff that will help us do the farming. That being said, I want to welcome on stage Councilwoman Jeannie Blackwell, the lady that has made it possible for us to have the kind of connection that we are talking about.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Let me thank God for the privilege and pleasure to be here with all of you. It is a pleasure to be with Your Excellency. It is a pleasure to hear all of the wonderful things you have said in your commitment to him and to Liberia and to whatever it takes to make him successful. Sharif already said he was just a little boy, and he's come so far. He's fought his whole life. He grew up with loving politics and the core of it, what it means about public service and making life better for his people and all people. There's no one here any better, more prepared, more committed than Senator Sharif Street. We thank him. I want to thank Bofi Jabate and Stan Schroeder. They have become my brothers. I'm so excited about Africa Town. I just want to live long enough to see everything done, because this is going to be, you're going to be able to get board a plane in Africa, deplane in, that's right, deplane in Philadelphia, get off the plane in Africa Town, get a hotel, visit a museum, get some food to eat, you name it. You're going to have everything right here in Southwest Philadelphia so that you can enjoy it, and people will not be trying to figure out what do we do in this city that doesn't represent us. So it represents you, and it's going to be one of the most exciting communities in our whole city and in our country. So I'm proud that God has given me. His father made it law when he signed the resolution we presented to him to create the Mayor's Commission on African and Caribbean Immigrant Affairs. And every mayor since then, I guess it's been about 5 mayors, maybe, has agreed to continue this. They have continued it, and they have continued to appoint me as Executive Director, Chair of the Mayor's Commission on African and Caribbean Immigrant Affairs. So it's just wonderful to be here. I'm glad to hear that this fundraiser was successful. I'm glad to be here with all of you, and I hope that you will have an opportunity to see the presentation of Africa Town so that you can enjoy and appreciate all that it is. We've already had a groundbreaking, all that it will be. So thank you very much. God bless you and congratulations on a wonderful affair. Thank you both.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we would like to invite onto the stage. But before we do, we have 2 tickets to 2 different Eagles games, right? One. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, basketball games. You know, I wanted to pull a prank on my man, Victor Kaiser. The other day we were watching the Eagles game. He doesn't like the Eagles. He was cheering for some other team. So I thought of a football team. I was going to get you 1 ticket to go see the Eagles game. Eagles all the way. All right, but anyway, these are basketball tickets. They're Sixers. And they are doing great too. Very well. I believe they should be number 2 now. We ranked number 2 in the East. We're doing great. So we've got 2 tickets. MFA Grizzlies, John Moran, and of course Joel Embiid and the rest of them. And we've selected 2 people for those tickets. We did a little raffle thing. Mr. Aaron Nella does get 1. And Victor Kaiser, you get 1 too. And you better go to that game. All right, having said that, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasing duty to call onto the podium His Excellency, Ambassador Joseph Yumam Boakai, former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and the incoming President of the Republic.
Joseph Boakai, you are the one we love. Joseph Boakai, you are the one we believe. But Joseph now makes you are the one we love. Joseph Boakai all the way. Joseph Boakai, you are the one we love. You are the one. Joseph Boakai, you are the one we believe. But Joseph now makes you are the one we love. But Joseph now makes you are the one.
Thank you so much. The first time here listening to that. Thank you. Let me say good evening to all of you. And I'm so pleased that we have here the senator. And I don't think I've been to any program in Philadelphia that I haven't seen Councilwoman Janet Blackwell. And tonight I was looking, but I knew you would be coming. Thank you, Jen. And of course, my friend Stan out there. For some reason, I'd always gone to Providence to my brother's but I didn't think, in a couple of visits here now, it looks like I am more in Philadelphia than anywhere else. I think Costa de must have double-crossed you, sir. But I'm very pleased to be here. I received 2 bells from here already. And so that means I've been here more often. It is good to be here tonight. And this is Thursday. I don't know, but one would have thought only over weekends that you would get a crowd like this. I want to thank you very much for taking up your time to be here. Over the last period, I see a lot of Liberians going back home. And I feel for them. Because from the airport, you start getting discouraged. the way your baggage is handled, the way you treat it. And every time they meet me, I say, one thing you should be happy. Nobody's going to ask you for your social security number. We know you. Liberia, you know, sometimes when we pray, we say, give us this day our daily bread. We just do it because it's written. But today, there are a lot of people, when they tell you our daily bread, they really mean it. Amen. They mean the bread for that day. Yes. I left school and was first assigned to work with our PMC, and I was fortunate to go to Lofa County to manage coffee farm, oil palm farm, make nursery for farmers, bought cherry coffee, mail it, bought rice, mail it, send it to Monrovia. During the period, Lofa County banned all imported rice from going to Lofa, and they called it the bread basket. Today, you go to Lofa, there's no cooperative function. I went to Vaughan for New Year. The only access to those people is in Sierra Leone. All their produce go to Sierra Leone. She was with me. We spent the night there, the New Year, and you feel for those people. Tonight we hear fundraising for a foundation. When I left government, I decided that what was always close to my heart was to work with people, to provide opportunities for people. And that's what we did. At some of the programs like what Marie talked about, I grew up in Tottenham, it was then Bomi. And there are 4 ghost cities in Liberia: Yekepa, Bong Mines, Mano, and Bomi. By ghost cities, I mean these were companies were, and they are no longer. And because the companies were there, people came from all over to work there. The difference between the ghost cities that Bomi happened to be the capital, Tottenham the capital, and the resident of the government. And so all the people that came from around there came from Lofa, Bong, to settle. One day I'm sitting down, I have a farm in Bahama, that's about 40 minutes away. And I saw 3 women walking, and they came to greet me. And I asked them where they were going. They said, oh, we have to walk an hour and a half to some land that was granted us to make farm. And of course, 1.5 hours to go, 1.5 hours to come. And they said that's where we go because they gave us access to some land. So I transported them, gave them some rice that day. And then it came to me that in Tottenham, most of the land were owned by the people there. And those who settled there, some of them for over the years, even including myself, they were there in numbers but had access to no land. So I talked to the only schoolmate of mine that I knew. And he said, oh, my mother left me 200 acres. I said, I'd like to buy some of that land. So, why you want to buy the land? I said, I want to buy the land. Make it available to people who want to work but have no access to it. Of course, we went through the figures. I'm still paying him. And I hope he doesn't die before I get finished paying him. I bought 127.23 acres, and we said, I called it the cooperative, and I call it Serious Farmers Cooperative. The reason for that, I just wanted people who were really serious about farming. And I opened it to everybody. You were not on the land, but you have access. You paid nothing. We put out there them cutlasses, hoes, seed, food. And that year, out of the 127 acres, I think they did about almost 90 acres with rice. And they were able to harvest the rice. And we eventually want to make it into a farming community, maybe the future, build some shelters there, maybe from fish, aquaculture, to give them access to market. These stories can be replicated in many parts of Liberia. The people is not the country that you used to know. We have cooperatives, and even in Foya, that's one of the most productive areas. The only access they have is to Guinea market. Nothing is happening. On my birthday last year, Mr. Snyder was there. We went to the School of the Blind. There were kids from 33 years to 15 blind. And I went there to visit them. And they said, we carry some rice. They said, well, God must have sent you there because they just stole our food 2 days ago. Those children blind 3 years. And disability is something that can come to anybody, anytime. The children, it wasn't their fault, but 3 years. We inspected their school buildings. They say they are all leaking. And we made a commitment that we'll go back there, try to help repair them. You can replicate many of these stories. So we decided to set up the foundation to take care of these kind of needs. We're not going to do them alone. So we collaborate with some medical facilities. I don't know how we got into giving these ferries, but I learned that between Bong and Bapolu, the only way people come to Bapolu from Bong, they have to come through Monrovia because of the crossing. And that's how we provided some ferries through some support of our Dutch friends. And today in River Cess, that's the ferry that's helping the medical services there. 6 of them, 1 over the Yar River in Nimba, 3 between Bomi and Bapolu, 2 in Grand Bassa and River Cess. For some reason, they were fortunate to have the motorized one. But there are needs all over. And we know that we can handle all alone. But the help you're giving tonight will go a long way. We are accountable. That's part of what people know us about. I told you already, we have the 501c3. It took us a long time, but we got that. But I want to say thanks to people like Fofi and Dumba. Dumba, when Fofi introduced Dumba, I said, Dumba, who are your parents? He called their name and said, your mother was my schoolmate at CWA, and your father was a very good friend, Roland. So we got connected. So he's now my nephew. And it's because of these people that we are here tonight. The needs are many. Some of these Liberians sitting here, some of them here have gone, established NGOs. I know the frustration to go through, to clear things, to deliver them. But I also read way back, someone had written that if you think it's easy to earn money, try giving it away. It's even more difficult to get things to the needed, to put it in the right hand. It's not an easy thing. But we are committed to do that because we came from a background of need and we know what it means. Tonight, as you have already been told, this is not for politics, but I know you interchanging them. But I am committed to Liberia. That has been my life. I hear people saying some of our countries where they used to be very much dependent on Liberia, today we say we are a gateway to Africa. And I say Liberia will be the destination. And that's going to happen. Liberia can be the destination because Liberians have always been that country. People came from everywhere. When we had a war, someone said, I don't understand you. When we wanted to go to America, we didn't have the chance. We came to Monrovia. Today, it's a different country. And I know everyone is yearning to go home. We have to create an environment. We want to see that the councilwoman, Janet Blackwell, and the senator, and even Stan, who've been there already, that one day we can invite them to Liberia. It's a great country. I always say you can pawn Liberia, but you can't sell it. And we are very optimistic that our country is going to come back and come back great. But some of these little things we have to do because we feel they are necessary. We give scholarship, and Costa just said, how do we get the money? Well, we know that God is faithful, and we're committed to it. And we have a lot of sacrificial services, like Marie, like some of our friends on the board. We are very good board members, but we need his help. And I want to thank you. I know what you go through when you work here. You got to take care of back home and yourself here. So whatever you've given to me, we're very grateful. We've been to some churches here that have been also helpful. But I want to say to you that with all of what is happening, Liberia is going to be rescued from these rooms. It's going to be rescued. We know it will happen. We know it will not take long. That you can go back to Liberia as proud citizen coming back home, been received the way you should. That's why we came up with the acronym ARREST. We left out one of the R's. We don't want to frighten anybody. That agriculture, roads, education, sanitation, and tourism. We know these can jumpstart that. Nobody has to be a farmer to do agriculture. All you have to do is have land and technical people. And thousands of young people can get jobs, being technicians, agronomists. Tourism will create that opportunity. Why would you go elsewhere when you can go to Lake Piso, you can go We have all the opportunities. What we need is leadership. And that's what we're talking about. It can be delayed, but it will come. So I want to say thanks to people like Councilwoman and Senator and Stan for standing by our people who are here enjoying the comfort of this place, but still know that they have a home. And we have the responsibility to make that happen so that they can go home, see their folks. This time when you say you're going home, you reach Monrovia, you can't go anywhere else because there are no roads. But I can tell you one thing. It is easy for a professional footballer to fail in providing sporting facilities, football. But if agriculture doesn't work under my watch, I don't see what else will work. Because when I left school, I went up country. From there, I became the first Liberian managing director to export what we produce. Then from there to be minister. If agriculture doesn't work under my administration, then I'm not fit to even lead a country. And that's what we're not going to provide. Produce airplanes or submarines for the world, but we can feed the world. We have the land, we have the soil. We can provide jobs, export market. Fortunately, in the U.S., under the AGUA, you can bring all these products here. You can give people jobs. So I want to thank you for tonight. I want you to take hope that all is not lost. What has happened is God designed for a transition. And we should all work with it. It should strengthen us to come together. I always said, Liberians say, well, we were not colonized, nothing brought us together. But the fear of this regime will bring us together. You will never want this. That's why God designed that if you have a choice, you better come together to rebuild your country. I want to thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you so much. The talking, at least from Obia, is over. The chairman has spoken, the next president has spoken, and so at this point, the DJ will play music, and then we'll walk around, we'll interact. Yeah, and you know what? We have to pray. Yes, the Reverend Jerry reminded me. And as a matter of fact, the Reverend will pray. Reverend, may you please come forward and close us up with a word of prayer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's be quiet for 1 second as we pray. Our attention, please. So pray. Thank you. Thank you. Please stand so we can pray. Thank you. Father, we thank you today and give you the glory that we've come together under one banner of unity, knowing that with you involved, we can work to make life worth living in Liberia and the world over. We thank you that as we unite our resources for the greater good of our country, we will do this in love, in peace, and in joy. For united we stand, divided we fall. Bless this visionary and the assignment you have bestowed upon him, and the able lieutenants who've come to work with him to make a difference in Liberia. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Joseph Boakai, you are the one we love. Joseph Boakai, you are the one we believe. The Joseph nothing makes you are the one we love. Joseph Boakai all the way. Joseph Boakai, you are the one we love. Joseph Boakai, you are the one we believe. The Joseph nothing makes you are the one we love. The Joseph nothing makes you are the one we love. You are the Christ that we love. You are the rainbow that includes the God.
Guys,
I can't tell me about it. Joseph Boakai, you are the one we love. Joseph Boakai.